I wanted to take a sec to address the ways in which education has been used to silence and bury the history of what's happened to Black and brown, indigenous, Asian people, oppressed people all around the world, including what's happening in Palestine right now. Like many of you, the history that I was taught growing up was significantly watered down and whitewashed. I remember being in elementary school using milk cartons to make adobe bricks when we were learning about the Spanish missions that were set up here in California. But they never really talked about the brutal history of displacement and torture and attempted genocide of the indigenous people who lived on this land. The closest I got was when we were talking about the Trail of Tears in middle school, and they had us fill our backpacks with a bunch of textbooks and walk some laps around the field. Because, it's basically the same thing. But beyond that, just about everything I've learned about what happened to indigenous people here on this continent, I had to learn on my own. And the same goes for Palestine. I don't remember ever hearing the word Palestine in elementary, middle school, or high school. And if I ever heard it in college, it was never to the depth where I was able to understand the full reality of what the occupation looked like. And after passing through this educational system, both as a student, as a teacher, I have to assume that there's a reason why these conversations and these narratives are kept hidden from our students. And that's because there's a certain idea that the people in power want to present about what this country is all about. They want people to believe that this country stands for liberty and justice, freedom, equality for all. They want people to see the United States as a beacon of hope for the rest of the world. But unfortunately for them, history paints a very different picture. And the people in power know that if everyone got a true and honest education of our country's history, if they truly understood the systems of oppression that are underlying the very foundations of this country, that people wouldn't just sit back and accept it. If people truly understood the history of all the ways in which our country has done people wrong and continues to do people wrong, both domestically and abroad, they would stand up and do something about it. And I know this is the case because 2 months ago, apart from the Arab community, very few people understood what was going on in Palestine for the last 75 years. And now, after 2 months of seeing it on our phone screens every day, more people understand it than ever, and more people are speaking out. Education truly is a tool for liberation, because the only way that people are going to be confident enough to speak on something is if they feel like they understand it. And if you're watching this, I want you to remember that just because the educational system let us down, it doesn't mean that we can't learn in other ways. Watch some documentaries, read some books, watch some YouTube videos, listen to some podcasts, talk to people who are involved and ask them how you can learn more. And don't just stop at Palestine, because there's a lot of history to unpack. And the more you learn, the more you see how all our stories are interconnected. So I want to help spread some knowledge, and hopefully y'all can help us out in the comments. I want to know, what is something that you saw or read or listened to that helped open your mind about the history of what our country has done to oppress people here and around the world? We need to start having these conversations so we can wake as many people up as possible. That's it for me. I'll see y'all next time.